What's up? It's B-MOTH here. Today, I'm cooped up inside because the mountain's covered in snow and I don't got snow tires. So today, we're going to be going over fast cars on the TOUGE, slow cars on the TOUGE. What's the difference? Which one's better? What should I buy? Today, we'll answer that just for you. Mwah. So, fast cars versus slow cars. Let's get into it, right? What's better? What should I buy? Doesn't fucking matter. My personal opinion does not matter. 0% matters at all. See, the main key difference is, what do you like to drive? Do you want to drive uphill versus downhill? That is the main question that most of you people asking should probably figure out first. You would think it would be high horsepower versus low, but it's really uphill versus downhill. And what car is better for both? It answers the same question. Uphill versus downhill. Fast car versus slow car. They're the same question, in my opinion, because uphill, you got fast car, high horsepower car with a lot of torque. Those are better suited for uphill driving. You can pull your weight further. Yeah, you weigh heavier and it's kind of sluggish, but uphill is very timid, very calm. It's not really sketchy. I mean, it is sketchy. I mean, yeah, driving the mountain is just kind of terrifying if you're doing it in a sporty fashion. But uphill's not that bad. In my opinion, it's a good place to start. Like if you are first starting to get into your TOUGE journey, uphill, uphill, uphill. Do not practice downhill for a little bit. Because downhill, if something goes wrong, there's not a lot of room for error. Uphill, something goes wrong, it's fine. The car naturally wants to come to a stop anyways. You have a lot of different leeway in between what you do and how you operate your vehicle. So, that being said, low horsepower cars, clearly not gonna be the greatest thing to go uphill with because you gotta fucking rev it the fuck out to even get moving. It's an issue where, what are you driving for? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, uphill is a different experience than downhill and is suited for different vehicles, different cars. So downhill is very scary. Let's just put it simple. It's scary. Anybody that tells you downhill isn't scary, it's not the right mountain then. Downhill is fucking terrifying sometimes, dude. And so downhill in a low horsepower car is a lot more fun and sustainable than a high horsepower car. Let's take into example, I'm a Mazda guy, the Miata, the RX-7 that I have. Even my buddy's 11, his Corolla 11. Those aren't fast cars. We're not gonna be beating anybody on the uphill. It's just, unless we race each other, then it's just driver mod at that point. But downhill, it's a different story. So the problems that you run into with a lightweight car on the uphill actually make it a very, very well-balanced downhill car. So, light cars on the downhill are bread and butter. They are number one, despite what anybody tells you. They are the best driving experience you can have. 100%. 4 cylinders on the downhill are some of the best fucking cars on this planet. But they only really shine on the downhill. So, your braking zones on a light car on the downhill are gonna be tighter. Or you can pretty much, sometimes you don't even have to brake. You never really overpower your car or have too much of your car there. I mean, it does happen only because of the angle of the road where you can get too much speed for a corner. But naturally, the car wants to stop itself when it's in motion with engine braking. So your braking zones can be next to nothing. You can even corner brake and be fine around specific corners, depending on how sharp. Mountain racing is a little bit different than track or street or really anything else because of the elevation, because of how things work on the mountain pass, you know?
All right, let's go over some pros and cons for a high horsepower car. Pros, more speed uphill. It's a great to learn, good for more experienced driving, and they're just really fun to drive. Cons, you're harsher on your brakes. You can't use your full horsepower downhill. Less agile, harder to stop on the downhill. All right, pros and cons for a light horsepower car. Pros, they're the fucking kings of downhill. Shorter braking distances on the downhill, you're always on throttle, and they're fun as fuck. Cons, struggles uphill. You can easily outgrow the car and feel like you need a little bit more. You can only really race one way, and you're just constantly thinking that you can go faster and wanting more, but you might be stuck with the limitations of the car. So all of this just to say, it kind of just depends, right? I mean, there is no right or wrong answer. I mean, each car has their strengths and their weaknesses depending on what you're trying to do with the vehicle. Just like anything in life. It comes down to preference and taste. When I was a little bit younger, I would have preferred downhill racing, light cars. But now that I'm getting older, I really enjoy the uphill. So I'm looking into turboing my car for a little bit more horsepower. These things will just come naturally with time. And there isn't really a definitive, this car, this is best for this is best for this. Each car has their faults and their strengths. And being able to play into each of those on the TOUGE is what will make you a better driver.